Oh, well, guys, the Giants lost to the Saints. Spencer Rattler, after going 0-10, that's right, 0-10, gets his first win against us, the big bad New York Football Giants. And you know what's a real shame is that I am not even surprised. I think I talked about this last week, and honestly, maybe I didn't, but as the week went on, I started to feel like I was getting really worried about this game. The comments that Spencer Rattler was saying about the defense and Shane Bowen, Malik Neighbors going down, then they don't elevate little Jordan Humphrey, so we're sticking with the same wide receiver core. And I'm just like, I don't feel good about this. Like, the Giants are the better team. They should win this football game, but I will not be surprised if they lose. And I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm embarrassed to root for this god-awful football team that every single week seems to find new ways to lose games. But it's not surprising. And I think that's the worst part, is that they have this amazing win against the Chargers, but because it's the New York Giants, they can't do that 2 weeks in a row. I mean, even Jordan Renan posted a tweet saying Jackson Dart is looking to be the first Giants quarterback in 2 years. 2 years to win 2 games in a row. Think about that. The last time that happened was in 2023 with Tommy DeVito. This is what we're working with. It's unbelievable. Truly. I mean, do you want another tweet that I saw? Because this from Dave Syvertson is honestly, it's like kind of funny, but it's not funny because it's so absolutely horrifying. Are you ready for this? Since 2015, the 2 worst records in football, can you guess? Drop it in the comments, are the New York Giants and the New York Jets. They have combined for over 220 losses in 10 years. And they are the last or second to last in point differential over that span. That's our football team, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue on. And should we talk about, the bad? Because the only good is Theo Johnson. And Scat. Look, and Scataboo tweeted out afterwards that he's sorry, Giants fans, he's going to be better. And I wrote back to him and I said, we love you, Cam, shit happens. And I'm glad that most of the comments that I saw were positive towards Scat, because he has literally him and Jackson Dart have done their best to take in this football team, put it on its back and say, we are going to force this team into victory. Shit happens, okay? They're going to make mistakes. Dart with the fumble too. 5 turnovers. I can forgive a rookie in a turnover like that, right? Like Jackson Dart, you learn your lesson, man. You can't hold on to the ball like that. Maybe you got to use 2 hands. I don't know what the answer is, but you learn that that's what's not to do. And Scat, running backs fumble. It's going to happen. The problem that I have is the fact that there were 5 turnovers in this game. They only accounted for 2 of them. At Dart with the interceptions. But okay, let's continue to talk through this. So there's 5 turnovers, right? Dart with the fumble, which again, can forgive. We'll hopefully never see that again from him. Scat, fumble again. The fumble is one thing. The fact that the Saints picked that up and ran it 86 yards for a touchdown and not a single person got a hand on him, that is the problem. What else is the problem? Is on one of the interceptions, Bo Collins stops running his route. What are you doing? What the hell is that? You just stop and turn around and, hey, the ball's going nowhere near you. Easy interception. What? What is that? Darius Slayton. How do you not hold on to that ball? You're a veteran. That is unforgivable. Unacceptable at this point in time. What the absolute, what? I don't even know what the 5th one is, honestly. I couldn't even tell you. Does it matter at this point? It was another interception, right? I don't even know who caught it. Again, does it matter? The thing is, okay, Dart throws 2 interceptions. He throws 2 touchdowns. What I have said and what I will continue to say is I want him to be aggressive. I'm okay with him throwing the interceptions, right? It's going to happen. But You have to be able to make up for it. You can't throw an interception, shoot yourself in the foot, and then have 4 other turnovers. 5 turnovers in one game is like worse than what they're learning when you're like a 4-year-old and whatever they teach in, it's not Little League, whatever it's called when they're kids. That is so out of control, right? Like, you throw an interception a game, the running back fumbles, whatever. It happens. But 5 in one game is the Giants, that is the definition of the New York Giants football that we have watched in the last decade. They find new ways to lose. I can't get over the fact that there were 5 turnovers. And like the interceptions, again, one thing with the Bo Collins, right? Like, what's wrong with you that you just stopped running your route? The Darius Slayton, like, how do all of those things happen in one game? The worst part is that the Giants were winning this game. They had the momentum, and then all of a sudden, they even have the Saints who miss a field goal. They can go into the half, maybe being up 17-13 at this point, and what do? Blow it, and then could never turn it around at any point throughout the rest of the game. There was no momentum swing. When you go from, this was their drives on offense. Touchdown, touchdown, punt, 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 turnover, 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 turnover. They find new ways to lose. I even saw a tweet from Dan Duggan who said he's been covering this team for 10 years and he is certain that he has never seen the Giants turn it over 5 times in one game. In a decade, they find new ways to lose. They do. Let's talk about the defense. You know what annoys me about this is that people can walk away from the Spencer Rattler comment and say, like, I don't really think he meant it as a dig as Shane Bowen. Like, you know, he's not wrong. Bowen doesn't really disguise the coverages. It's not really what he's known for and whatever. And that's fine. But the reality is this is a production-based league. And if I was any single person in that goddamn building and I watched what Spencer Rattler had to say, you bet your ass I'd be running in the next day and being like, hey, you guys see this? This is what they think of us. This is what this 0-4 garbage team, trash quarterback thinks about our defense when we should have the best pass rush in the NFL. When we have 3 players who combined for double-digit pressures last week and quarterback hits and had multiple sacks in a game. And Brian Burns is one of the leading edge rushers in the NFL in sacks. And this is what they have to say about us after we've also had multiple interceptions. Let's go out there and whoop his ass. That should have been the only conversation that was happening in that meeting. And Shane Bowen should have had a fire lit under his ass and said, you are not going to come out here and try to throw digs at me, whether or not that was your intention. I'm gonna throw all that in a bag of chips your way, and good luck coming after that, you young quarterback who thinks he's seen so much. Watch me. And the fact that that is not what happened is so disgusting to me. Like, you guys couldn't go out there and be like, nah, we're not, this is unacceptable. We are going to go out there and fight, and we don't care that it's noisy here, and we don't care that this team is talking shit about us, and we don't care that this team thinks that they're going to come out here and beat us. Not on our watch. And instead, we have blown coverages. We have some zone BS that we saw again. Not a lot of man coverage. And when it's man coverage, Tay Banks is out here getting DPIs. Can't force any turnovers on a young quarterback. Where is the pass rush? Who was absolutely lighting up the Chargers offensive line last week and sacking the shit out of Justin Herbert? Where were you guys? I know that Spencer Rattler, their goal was to get the ball out quick. He's not a track star. He's not that fast. You couldn't get any pressure on him. Couldn't get to him. I am concerned. And I'm really just mostly upset at this point because this season is over. we are 1-4. And, we could easily say that, okay, even if they were 2-3, like realistically, the season is also over. Like when you're 0-3, you have a very slim chance of making the playoffs. And when you're this team who has a bunch of problems, has questionable coaching practices, has questionable roster moves, and a slew of other things that are obviously problematic when it comes to this football team, plus the schedule, like you could make all that argument and say it was over when it was probably 0-2, definitely when it was 0-3. And that's fine. But if you're not going to tell me that if they were 2-3 going into Philly, there's at least some optimism there, right? Like they come off this huge win against the Chargers. If they go into the Saints, and even if they kept it close and they won by a last minute field goal, or they won by 1 point because the defense got a big stop like they did against the Chargers, a win is a win. It doesn't matter how it happens. And look, blowouts are amazing. I don't know what that's like as a Giant fan. Haven't seen one of those in a hell of a long time, but that's amazing. But a win, even if you win by 1 point or 2 points, it still feels good to win. You're still walking into your home game against the Eagles, a division rival on Thursday night who just lost to the Broncos, and saying, okay, we got some momentum here. We're now 2-0 in the Jackson Dart era. We're coming back home on a Thursday night. It's prime time. We're going to have the home energy and the home crowd. Like, we won at home just 2 weeks ago. We can do it. It's a short week, blah, blah, blah. But, you're going into that with a different energy. Now, you're going into this game after being embarrassed by the Saints, who, if that was any other team who got 5 turnovers, they would have put up 40 plus points. But because it's the Saints, they only put up 26, and you still couldn't get a touchdown in the second half. Not even a field goal. Couldn't get anything. So now you're going multiple quarters without scoring. And now you're going to go into this game probably without Darius Slayton, who's dealing with a hamstring injury. And I know so many people are going to be like, thank God, I don't even want to watch him. Oh, do you want to watch Bo Collins, who just completely quit on a route? Do you want to watch Jalen Hyatt, who can't catch a ball if his life literally depended on it? They're not going to bring in OBJ on a 4-day week. Surprise me, Giants, do it. Nothing would make me happier. I have to go to this game on Thursday, and I'm like, great, at least I get to leave at halftime and be in bed before midnight. It's really depressing being a Giants fan. It really, really is. So we'll be back tomorrow to talk some more about this stupid game and this brutal team. And then, Wednesday, we're going to start talking about the Eagles, because we only have 2 days to talk about the Eagles before that game hits. And I don't think we're going to have Darius Slayton. If they don't elevate little Jordan Humphrey this week, like Dable should be fired before the game starts. So I'm going to stand by that one. But anyway, we have more to discuss. So come back tomorrow, and, we're going to talk a little bit more about this game and what went wrong. And then, like I said, we're flipping the page to the Eagles, because that's going to be, believe it or not, even more fun to talk about. And if you can't tell that I'm being sarcastic, I'm sarcastic. So see you guys tomorrow.